Imagine this. You see a drowning man and you dive in to save him. But every time you pull him to the surface, he lets go, sinking himself again. You try over and over until you realize he doesn't want to be saved. A traveler sees a bird trapped in a net. Moved by kindness, he frees it. But the next day, he finds the same bird, caught again. Only this time, it doesn't struggle. It has grown comfortable in its captivity. A farmer once saw a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Wanting to help, he carefully peeled it open. But instead of flying, the butterfly's wings were weak. It had never built the strength to survive. In his kindness, the farmer had crippled it. The Stoics understood this well. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Helping others is noble, but not when they refuse to help themselves. Some people will drain your energy, reject wisdom, and resist change. The hardest lesson? Knowing when to let go. The hard truth? Some people must be left to face their own path, because only through struggle do they find the strength to stand. Today, we're diving into the kinds of people you should stop helping. Those whose refusal to change makes your efforts not just futile, but draining to your own well-being. And trust me, the final one might completely reshape how you see generosity and boundaries. If you've ever felt the burden of carrying those who refuse to stand on their own, this video is for you. Let's get started. Number 1, the immutable. Few things are more frustrating than trying to help someone who refuses to change. The immutable person clings to their comfort zone like a shipwrecked sailor refusing to swim, even as the water rises around them. No matter how many opportunities they're given, they remain stuck, complaining about their struggles, yet unwilling to take action. Imagine being on a sinking ship. You throw them a life jacket, but instead of grabbing it, they sit still, lamenting their misfortune. It's not that they lack a way forward, it's that they refuse to take it. Stoicism reminds us that while offering help is a noble act, we must also recognize when it is futile. As Epictetus said, it is not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. And if someone chooses inaction, no amount of effort on your part will move them. Your energy is precious, and it is not your duty to save those who won't save themselves. Setting boundaries is essential because limitless compassion often leads to exhaustion. The Stoics teach us to focus on what is within our control, and their resistance to change is not. Sometimes the only thing you can do is listen. Let them voice their frustrations, but don't fall into the trap of believing it's your responsibility to fix their problems. Instead, encourage self-reflection. Ask questions that challenge them to consider their own role in their situation. Yet even then, the immutable may refuse to act, and that is their choice, not your failure. Not everyone is ready for growth. Some prefer the familiarity of their struggles over the uncertainty of change, and that's okay. Walking away doesn't mean you've abandoned them. It means you respect their autonomy and, more importantly, your own peace. Let go of what you cannot change and focus on what you can. Your own path, your own progress, your own strength. Number 2, the manipulators. Have you ever helped someone only to walk away feeling drained, as if they had taken more than you were willing to give? That's the mark of a manipulator, someone who doesn't see kindness as a gift, but as a resource to exploit. They do not appreciate support. They expect it, twisting generosity into obligation. Stoicism reminds us that true strength lies in protecting our peace, and manipulators are a clear reason why boundaries are not just necessary, but essential. Imagine your relationships as a garden. A healthy connection is like watering plants that grow and flourish. But with a manipulator, you are endlessly pouring water into a cactus that never stops demanding more, leaving you depleted. These people excel at using guilt as a tool, making you feel like denying them is an act of cruelty rather than an act of self-respect. They feed off generosity, not to grow, but to take. One of the clearest signs of a manipulator is their never-ending crises. Every day brings a new catastrophe, and somehow their problems always become your responsibility. They replay the same struggles like an endless monologue, yet never take steps to change. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while compassion is valuable, it must be given with wisdom. You are not responsible for solving problems that others create for themselves, especially when they refuse to take control of their own lives. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you allow a manipulator to consume your mental space, you surrender the clarity needed to live with intention. The best defense is a firm boundary. Saying no to their demands is not an act of cruelty, but an act of wisdom. Your energy is not infinite, and giving it to those who only take is a disservice to yourself. Recognizing manipulation is the first step in breaking free. A manipulator will push limits, blur boundaries, and create an illusion of obligation. But true generosity should never feel like a burden. As Seneca wisely observed, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Choosing to walk away from manipulation is not selfishness. It is self-preservation. Life is too short to be entangled in relationships that drain your spirit. Focus your energy on connections built on respect and reciprocity. A meaningful life is not spent catering to those who only take. It is spent nurturing relationships that bring wisdom, peace, and balance. Number 3, the victim. The victim is someone who moves through life with a never-ending list of grievances, convinced that every misfortune is someone else's fault. It's not fair. Life is against me. Nothing ever goes my way. Beneath these complaints is a deeper truth. They refuse to take responsibility for their circumstances, choosing blame over action. Picture the victim as a sailor lost at sea, cursing the waves, the storm, and the wind, but never learning how to steer the ship. They see themselves as the misunderstood hero of their own tragedy, while the world around them plays the villain. Every conversation with them feels like a rerun of the same tired script. Different details, same excuses. You've likely encountered someone like this. They complain about their job, their relationships, or their bad luck. My boss doesn't see my potential. The universe is against me. Yet despite their endless lamenting, they rarely take meaningful action to change their circumstances. Stoicism reminds us of a simple but powerful truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The victim refuses to embrace this lesson, preferring the comfort of excuses over the challenge of self-improvement. They are like a fish swimming in circles inside a small tank, unaware that a vast ocean exists beyond the glass. Their belief in their own helplessness becomes an anchor, keeping them trapped in the same cycle of negativity. Instead of confronting obstacles, they seek validation for their suffering, mistaking attention for progress. Stoicism teaches us to approach such people with compassion, but also with discernment. It is natural to want to help, but offering solutions to someone who refuses to take responsibility is a futile exercise. Instead of guiding them to shore, you may find yourself pulled into their endless tide of complaints. Rather than trying to rescue them, act as a mirror. Challenge them to reflect on their role in their struggles. Ask them, what can you do to change this? Instead of feeding into their cycle of self-pity, as Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By stepping back, you allow them to face the reality they've been avoiding. The victim doesn't need pity, they need agency. Their helplessness is a choice, and while you cannot force them to change, you can choose how you respond. Set boundaries to protect your energy. Offer wisdom, but don't exhaust yourself trying to make them listen. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. If someone chooses to dwell in blame and despair, that is their burden to carry, not yours. The most powerful thing you can do is let them take responsibility for their own path. Only when they accept that truth will they begin to move forward." Number 4, the narcissist. Interacting with a narcissist is like being caught in an endless loop, draining, exhausting, and ultimately fruitless. They crave attention, not growth, validation, not wisdom. Their world revolves entirely around themselves, leaving no space for genuine connection or meaningful change. Stoicism teaches us that self-absorption is the enemy of virtue, and few embody this flaw more than the narcissist. Picture a child at the park shouting, "Look at me!" The narcissist has refined this into a lifestyle. Whether through exaggerated struggles, self-congratulatory stories, or constant dramatics, their need for admiration knows no limits. When you attempt to offer real guidance, they either dismiss it or twist it into another opportunity for attention. They don't seek solutions, they seek an audience. Helping a narcissist is like pouring water into a bucket with no bottom. No matter how much time or energy you give, it is never enough. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Recognizing that your energy is finite allows you to protect your well-being from those who endlessly consume without giving back. Think of your energy as a garden. Would you waste your care on weeds that only take and never bloom? The narcissist is that weed, demanding endlessly while offering nothing in return. Instead, invest in relationships that are reciprocal, where your support helps others grow, not just feeds their vanity. It's important to recognize their tactics. They disguise their hunger for admiration as a plea for help, but their true goal is attention, not resolution. Gratitude is rare, and their demands never cease. Setting firm boundaries is not selfish. It is necessary for your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius also wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Allowing a narcissist to dominate your mental space risks letting their self-centeredness overshadow your own clarity. Instead, focus on self-mastery, meaningful relationships, and pursuits that align with your values. In a world overflowing with vanity and self-promotion, Stoicism provides a powerful reminder. Do not waste your time on those who refuse to grow. Stay grounded, set boundaries, and dedicate your energy to what truly matters. Number 5. People who don't value your time. Time is the one resource you can never reclaim, yet some treat it as if it were endless. These people disregard your priorities, pulling you into trivial matters that leave you frustrated and drained. Stoicism teaches us that time is not just something we have, it's something we must protect. Imagine your time as a priceless sculpture, carefully being shaped with intention. Now picture someone chipping away at it without care, reducing it to rubble. Time wasters do this in small, subtle ways. Constant interruptions, meaningless conversations, unnecessary obligations, until you're left wondering why you allowed it to happen. We've all experienced it, a rare moment of peace, an important task at hand, only to be derailed by someone else's trivial demands. They act as if your time is theirs to take, as if you exist on an endless clock that never runs out. Helping them often feels like solving a puzzle with missing pieces, frustrating and fruitless. Stoicism offers a simple but powerful solution. Set firm boundaries. Think of your time as a well-tended garden, and those who waste it as weeds that must be removed before they overrun your space. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. In this case, being wise means safeguarding your time and using it with purpose. Communicate your availability clearly and without apology. Let others know when you are accessible and when you are not. Don't hesitate to say no when disruptions threaten your priorities. This isn't about being unkind. It's about being intentional. Time given freely to those who don't appreciate it is time stolen from what truly matters. Epictetus teaches us it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By staying calm and assertive, you maintain control over your schedule and your peace of mind. Seneca offers a final reminder. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Choose wisely where you invest your time. Protect it, prioritize it, and spend it only on what enriches your life. Number 6, the deaf one. Have you ever given advice only to watch someone nod in agreement, then change nothing? This is the deaf one, the person who listens but never truly hears. They acknowledge wisdom yet remain stuck, as if waiting for life to magically improve without effort. Helping them is like pouring water into a broken vessel. Nothing holds. Stoicism reminds us to guard our energy and focus on what we can control, our own actions, not another's willingness to change. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Advice is valuable only when received with the intent to act. The deaf one clings to their comfort zone, making excuses instead of taking responsibility. They are spectators in their own lives, stuck in the same cycle of inaction. Trying to help them is like planting seeds in barren soil. No matter how much care you give, nothing will grow. Stoicism teaches us to set firm boundaries. Your time and wisdom are precious, and wasting them on those unwilling to act only drains you. Instead, focus on those who seek growth and take responsibility for their own path. A more effective approach? Shift from giving answers to asking questions. What will you do differently this time? If no one could help you, what would you do? This forces them to confront their own role in their struggles. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Instead of growing frustrated, step back. Let them face the consequences of their choices. Sometimes experience is the only teacher they will listen to. Recognizing when your wisdom is wasted allows you to focus on those truly ready to grow. Number 7, the dramatic person. Some people go through life as if they are the lead character in a never-ending tragedy, turning every minor setback into a grand catastrophe. To them, life is not a journey to be lived, but a stage for theatrics, where they cast themselves as the victim, the hero, or the misunderstood soul. And you're expected to be the audience, the rescuer, or the emotional crutch they lean on. At first, you may feel compelled to help, thinking you can guide them out of their self-imposed storm. But Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom often lies in stepping back. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The dramatic person thrives on chaos, and if you're not careful, their turbulence will consume your peace. They don't seek solutions, they seek an audience. No matter how much advice or comfort you offer, it's never enough. They manipulate situations to elicit guilt, concern, or attention, drawing you deeper into their emotional whirlwind. Each time you try to help, you become more entangled, while they remain exactly where they are, stuck in a cycle of self-inflicted turmoil. The Stoics emphasize focusing on what you can control. You cannot change their dramatic tendencies, but you can choose to protect your peace. Setting boundaries is not unkind. It is necessary. Imagine your time and energy as a beautiful landscape. If you let a dramatic person take over, soon your world will be covered in storm clouds. A more effective approach is to encourage self-reflection. Instead of offering solutions they won't use, ask them, is this truly as bad as it seems? What would happen if you focused on action instead of reaction? These simple questions can shift their perspective, if they are willing to listen. Humor can also be a powerful tool. The Stoics often used wit to navigate life's challenges. A lighthearted remark, like, "Sounds like you survived another apocalypse," can momentarily disrupt their cycle of drama and offer a different perspective. In the end, Stoicism teaches us to invest our energy wisely. As Marcus Aurelius observed, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Choose to surround yourself with those who bring clarity, not chaos. Protect your peace and let the dramatic ones play out their stories without dragging you into their endless script. Number 8, the ungrateful. The ungrateful move through life with a sense of entitlement, seeing kindness as something they deserve rather than a gift to be appreciated. They take endlessly, rarely acknowledging the effort behind what they receive, leaving those who help them exhausted and disillusioned. Stoicism teaches that gratitude is the foundation of a meaningful life. As Marcus Aurelius said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. But to the ungrateful, life is not a privilege. It is a list of unmet expectations. Gratitude is more than words. It is the ability to recognize the effort and goodwill of others. The ungrateful, however, only see what was lacking. Imagine saving someone from drowning. A grateful person would thank you for pulling them to safety. The ungrateful? They would complain that you didn't do it fast enough. They focus on imperfections rather than the fact that they were saved at all. Stoicism reminds us that not all who seek help truly wish to grow. Some take and take, never changing, expecting more without effort. They are like barren soil. No matter how much care you give, nothing will bloom. Helping them is not kindness. It is enabling their indifference. The best way to deal with the ungrateful is to set firm boundaries. Your energy, like a flame, must be protected, or it will be drained by those who fail to appreciate its warmth. This does not mean withholding generosity, but offering it where it is valued. Setting limits is not selfish, it is wisdom in action. True generosity begins with gratitude within yourself. As the Stoics remind us, he who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. Some people will never change no matter how much you give. Accepting this frees you from frustration, allowing you to invest your energy in those who truly value it. The next time you find yourself exhausted from helping someone who refuses to grow, take a deep breath and remind yourself, not every battle is yours to fight. Letting go isn't indifference, it's wisdom. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in knowing where to invest our energy and when to walk away. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments by writing, "I choose peace over chaos." I'd love to hear your experiences and reflections. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because these conversations on wisdom, resilience, and self-mastery are just getting started. Every step you take toward a more intentional life brings clarity and strength. Stay with me on this journey, because in the next video, we'll dive even deeper into the lessons of Stoic philosophy. Lessons that can reshape the way you see the world. Until then, protect your peace, choose your battles wisely, and keep walking the path of wisdom.